Hey guys, it is Kimberly from WitlessKimberly.com, and the question that I get asked the most, literally every single day, is can you help me with Facebook parties? Tell me what you do. How are you successful with Facebook parties? And so I wanted to give you my top 5 tips on how I make sure that every single one of my Facebook parties is as successful as possible. Tip number 1 is Hostess Coaching. Now, some people think that you do not have to hostess coach with Facebook parties, but that is absolutely not the case. You actually need to hostess coach even more on Facebook because you're not in person. Now, one way to make that even better for your hostess is to do a video. Now, I know a lot of people are uncomfortable doing videos, but it lets them see you and your personality, and they can see exactly what you're asking them to do. One of my favorite things to do with Hostess Coaching is to send them a video right when we start the Hostess Coaching, which is usually 9 days before their party, and then another one the day before, and another one the morning of. Each one is going to be a different video with different tips and tricks. I also did a video on how Hostess Coaching actually improves the percentage of your turnout and your income, your commission, your sales. So I will link that up in the top so you can see what that looks like, but trust me, it is over 200%. It is amazing. So you need to Hostess Coach. My second tip is be picky on how many people you want them to invite. My biggest thing is I do not want them inviting their entire friends list. You want this to be as much or as close to a home party as possible. And how many people do you normally invite to a home party? Usually between 40 and 50. That's the same thing that you should be doing for a Facebook party. When someone sees that they've been invited to a party with hundreds, sometimes thousands of other people, they are not going to feel like this post took the time to say, you know what, this person, I know she needs to try this product and she should be coming to this party. So you want them to think very, very carefully about who they should be inviting to that party. Send them an invite and then a private message. There's more tips I can go into with the whole inviting piece, but that is my biggest one. Only invite 50 people max. My third tip is to use purposeful and personal content. Some people are scared to make their own content, so they want to use the content that they can pull from Pinterest or Instagram, or they're just going to reach and grab for any content. And I can promise you that you are not the only consultant in your friend's timeline. So I can almost guarantee you they've already seen those pictures before. So whenever you create your own, and I have a video on how to use Canva, which is my favorite, make your own content, put you in it. If I just took a picture just like this of myself and I was holding a bag of chips and a drink and my cell phone, that's it. That's all I need for that graphic. That's a what do you need for this party graphic. Super simple. If you are in the content, they are going to be more likely to engage in that content because they know that you took the time to do it and it's different than anything they've ever seen before. Another piece that goes into that is the purposeful piece. You do not want posts that say 5 days until the party, 4 days until the party, 3 days until the party. Those are empty posts. You want purposeful content. So you want those posts to be engaging. Ask questions. You don't necessarily need games because in the end, games normally mean that you're going to have to give them something like a prize. You don't have to give prizes for it to be an amazing party. You want them to engage in your post. So ask a question, tell them how to do something, give them a tip, make something funny. You just want them to be engaged, comment, liking, anything they do. A like or a comment counts as engagement on your post, and that is what you want. My fourth tip is keep your guest on the party. You do not want them going to your website. Now I know some people are gonna be like, what? You don't want them going to the website? I don't. As a consultant, I know where everything is on my website. But if I go to another company, I have no idea where their specials are or how to get this deal or how to do this or X, Y, and Z. So the best way to combat that is even if you're at a home party, like I said before, treat it like a home party. You are not going to give somebody your computer and say, all right, here you go, place your order. You're going to take the order form and you're going to look at it, try to combine it as best as possible, and you're going to enter it for them. It's the same concept. That's why I love, love, love Google Forms. Now with Google Forms, that kind of goes into also, I get a lot of questions on how do I take payment. I use PayPal. The thing is, you want them to fill out the form so that way you can enter it for them. Now the last tip that I have for you is actually a quote from one of my favorite video making gurus, and that's Carrie Driscoll from Driscoll Tech. So I'm actually read you this quote. Videos increase product knowledge by 70%. 90% of the people say that watching a video helped them to decide make a purchase. Of that 90%, 64% were convinced to make a purchase. Mind blown. Video is where it's at. I can promise you that. So during my Facebook parties, I have a static video. That means that it's already created just like this one and I upload it to the party. But the day before, what is one thing that people always want to see in action? One, because It's one of the most expensive things in our catalog, and that's the diffuser. So I usually always try to go live the day before the party to showcase the diffuser, so that way they can see it in action, they can see the settings, how to get the LED colors, the high, low, the candle flicker. They can see exactly what they're getting, and they can ask questions, and they can see my house, me in my house as well. So video is where it's at. So those are my top tips. Hostess Coach, invite less than 50 people, purposeful, personal content, Google Forms, and video. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, put it down in the comments and I'll answer them as best as I can. See you guys later.